All right, welcome back to another WrightStew podcast. Brian and I are in a stupor still from eating too much food.
Yeah.
And cleaning up too many boxes.
Yeah.
And making it all happen. I'm Paul Stewart.
And I am Brian Wright in Speaker Studio.
And together we're the WrightStew podcast. So, Brian, one of the fun things that you always see around Christmas time are quarterbacks or running backs giving gifts to their O-line.
Yeah.
And the O-line, they do the tough work. They're getting beat up. They're taking care of their quarterback. You see them all the time in games. They're getting in fights for their quarterback. They protect him like,
and they're just bigger human beings,
just massive humans. Yeah. I remember one time and I'm a pretty big fella.
Yeah,
you know, but I remember one time I was at Burger King over by NC State, and the O line was in there eating Whoppers together. And they were just massive human beings.
Yeah,
just huge. And you were around it in school as well.
Yeah, I was around it, and I've been on the field a few times. My daughter getting recruited, and so you go on the field for whatever reason for other sports, but you go on the football field, and just big guys.
Big human beings.
Yeah.
But always fun to see the gifts being given. So Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley gave the Eagles O-line this year like souped up golf carts, and they lost their mind over it.
I think it's a great gift.
Let's say you're an O-lineman. What kind of gift do you think you would want to receive from the guy
what kind of year?
protecting?
I do think the quality...
Oh, does it depend on how well you're protecting
them?
dude,
this is a paid-for position. Like, I saw where, Brock out at the 49ers QB?
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
He bought those guys, like, new vehicles, like new cars.
Holy cow.
And he doesn't have... He doesn't have that kind of bankroll yet.
No.
So I'm not sure if he financed them or how he worked that out. But I do think it depends. Like, I don't feel like the 49ers had a vehicle buying quality year. Like, I don't think the line did enough
a lot of
to
injuries
deserve
over there.
that. You know, they're getting paid as well. I like stuff that's unique. Like, I know one year, I think it was shotguns have been bought for different guys.
Oh, wow.
I saw Burrow bought like samurai swords for his group this year. So I do think it is dependent the expense of the gift
depends on the level of quality.
Like how good a year have you had, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Saquon went in with
he's having a pretty good year
with Hurts and helped and said, hey, you know, obviously Saquon don't have the year that he has without that O line as well, and so I think that should happen more often where the guys go in and do it, especially if you got one exclusive
quarterback, running back. Yeah, the whole
and
thing.
Really. Our diva wide receivers should probably go in because they can't get the ball if they don't have enough time. It really should be a skill position.
So the skill guys are taking care of the O-line. That makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. But as far as gifts, I think if I was doing it, I would do trips. Right?
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
Like an end-of-year trip where you're all hanging out together.
Hey, we're done. February, whatever it is.
Are you including significant others and families? So just a whole big...
Yeah, so maybe... I think because you get kids and different things, you gotta. It would vary from group. So maybe one guy's costs you $20,000. Maybe another guy costs you $40,000 because he has a kid or a kid and a half. Or if you get too many kids, it gets a little bit out of control. But so going somewhere tropical during the off season, that would be Hawaii. Maybe they don't want to go that far, but somewhere down south to where.
I think if somebody gave you a trip to Hawaii, you wouldn't worry about how far it was. You'd probably just hop on a plane and go. So
absolutely.
But it's always cool to see, and again, that's part of sports.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun. You build those relationships, you grow in camaraderie, and you're with those people, those teammates, more than you're with your family. You're in the locker room, you're in practice, you're in film rooms, and they become a second family. And the same thing for wives and significant others. My wife, when we were playing, she would sit there with the other wives in the stands, and they were there every night. And then we lived in the same apartments together. When we would go on the road, they would sit down, and this was before streaming. They would listen to the games or watch it over a very rudimentary web camera sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the people that are closest in my life are folks that I played baseball with.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're just with them, and you go through such an
emotional
emotional period.
With.
Or guys you coach with.
Emotional connection.
Just locked in.
And me trying not to say something crazy. And you being more rational, or at times me having to pull you back. I've been the irrational one occasionally.
Hey, don't question me. Don't question me on the rules. Know your rules, guys. If you're an umpire, know your rules, or I'm going to come after you. If you miss a ball or strike, it's fine.
That's right.
You don't know the rules.
That's a problem.
I'm ticked off. So that's exciting. So the other thing, And we'll post this on our YouTube. So check out our YouTube if you don't. We appreciate you listening on the pods, but we've got a YouTube as well. So make sure you listen and check that out. But LeBron James and his family had matching pajamas, matching jammy jams. Is your family a matching pajamas type family?
My wife wants us to be.
But you're not?
My wife will buy my son and I matching pajamas.
Okay.
And then the girls, I have 2 other daughters, and she'll buy like them 3, like her and the 2 girls will have matching.
Okay.
But it is just, I don't know. It's just something, I don't know if it's just me and my nature not wanting to be a part of like trends and cliques, and I just fight that.
It's like a team.
Put
you don't want to be part of the team?
Box.
That's a uniform.
I am a team guy, and I guess if I looked at it as a uniform, I don't. I look at it as you want me to look a certain way, and I want to fight that. I want to keep that independence. So I'm not a huge fan of matching pajamas, but clearly my wife has tried to get me to, but it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like I'm giving up a piece of my manhood or independence to wear matching pajamas.
Okay. That's it. So
you do probably.
We do it every week. So since as far back as I can remember,
yes,
and I've shared the story, my grandparents would give my little brother and I
think of my grandparents. I don't know.
Well, so my grandparents would give my little brother and I matching pajamas, and that was the one gift we opened on Christmas Eve. And
still happens.
Well, they passed away, but my mother, and I'll throw Poppy in there. My dad, he helps out, and they buy my family and my brother's family matching pajamas every year.
Yeah.
And so every year, Christmas Eve,
do y'all wear them together?
We wear them together. We take the picture in front of the tree. We'll post on our YouTube, and it's fine. And some of the pajamas so every year it's essentially a flannel set of pants and a t-shirt or a long sleeve t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I've got a whole stack of flannel pajamas. I don't buy them for myself because I know I'm getting them every year.
Yeah. First of all, truthfully, pajamas. I can't sleep in pants.
No, if I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping
underwear.
I'm boxer shorts.
I cannot go anything with straining this body.
Yeah. Before kids, I was a naked sleeper.
Oh, completely nude.
Yeah, loved sleeping naked. Just felt good on the sheets on the giblets there. Loved it. So here's and when the kids were young. So here's a good naked sleeping story for you. At our first house, we had an alarm system, like a Brinks sort of deal, and our garage door didn't shut all the way. Sometimes it had like that barrier around it that didn't. You had to really pull it to shut it.
Yeah.
So one night we're asleep, and the alarm starts going off. And so I've also got really bad vision.
Okay.
So I've got my contacts out, so I can't.
Your eye.
Well, I had a cornea transplant, but I've still got bad vision. The other eye needs another cornea transplant. So bad eyes. So the alarm's going off. I've got a Louisville Slugger beside my bed.
Okay.
So Meredith's like, "Go."
Somebody's
go see what's happening.
Yeah.
Go. And I'm like, I'm scared. I don't want to. Yeah. But you got to be the man of the house. I'm like, all right.
At this point. You're married. You're sleeping naked.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right. Well, what's going to scare this robber the most? Stay naked.
Oh, yes.
So I grabbed the Louisville Slugger. Yes. I've got it in my hands, like in a ready position, and I'm kind of tiptoe creeping down the hallway. And it's not a huge house, so it's not. I'm not in the east wing trying to get to the west wing.
Right. You're going downstairs.
I'm going. Well, we already have downstairs. I'm going down the hallway to the kitchen, and so I'm walking down the hallway with my Louisville Slugger, just squinting, looking for a form, like. And I think the kids, our older two, were young at the time. So,
right,
like
so you knew they had to be a certain height.
I'm looking for like 5'7" and above.
Yeah.
And so I'm squinting, and I'm like, that door probably is cracked, but who knows? I'm listening. My ears are good because my eyes are bad, and I don't hear anything. And
right.
And I get to the kitchen. I'm like, oh, it's just the door, right? So
nothing.
Nothing. But I was ready to take a hack at.
So you're like Shane. What Shane Gillis, he talks about what would be scarier than like a gay army, right? He talks about whenever he's going through and telling like his jokes, he's like, you think about the Nazis or the Vikings. You think about the Vikings coming in, and then you think about what if the Vikings were gay Vikings?
Oh, geez,
and they're not just here to pillage; they're here to rape and
they're here to really pillage.
And so that was Paul coming down. That was a conscious thought of you, like what would be scary.
So here's the thing:
me in underwear or shorts, or me completely naked with a bat, and you were naked with a bat.
Here's the other thing: kids, if you ever get into a fight out there, just rip your clothes off. What's going to say this person is more crazy than somebody just ripping their clothes? Just
going completely nude?
I mean, if you're like in school, probably just get down to your drawers. Like, if you want to get really crazy,
go nude.
And I mean, you'll be known as that kid the rest of your life.
Right.
But you're probably not going to get beat up by whoever else is out there.
Oh,
they're probably turning away. So, I mean, I don't know if I don't encourage violence.
No.
But if you got
if
you got to protect yourself, and just start ripping your clothes off. I mean, maybe just start wearing the old school tearaway pants that like basketball players.
I feel like those should come back. I feel like those should be more common.
We had them in high school.
Like more common. That should be just like
that's a
how
pretty
awesome would it
cool.
be just sitting around, you just rip your pants off, and you're all right, I'm ready.
I think those were a thing like for us in the like early 2000s. People still made it, but man, that was a cool feeling in high school when you had your warm up shirt on, you just ripped your pants, threw them to the side.
Yeah, I feel like that should be a thing now for like regular clothes. Like you
just regular clothes?
Yeah, regular clothes.
Just some Velcro.
Get ready to hop in the shower. You rip your pants off. You look in the mirror. You think about your life decisions.
I'm wearing button-up, rip-away pants. I'm doing good things. I'm making it.
That's right.
It's going to be a great year.
I love it.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening today. We hope you are having a great sports day. A lot of good bowl games coming up. The CFP coming up as well. We'll touch on that here in the next couple of days. But thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. Look at these pretty faces on YouTube.
There's one.
There's a couple of them.
Probably good angle.
A couple of them out there. But we're on TikTok as well. We got some fun content on there. Instagram. Make sure you listen on Apple Pod, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere you can find podcasts. But thank y'all for listening today. Go Pack.
Out.
Wait, I say go Pack.
Out. Go Pack.
There it is.